Hi friends, welcome back to Reading with Miss Romo. The story I brought today is called The Day You Begin. The author's name is Jacqueline Woodson, and the illustrator, the person who drew all of the beautiful pictures, his name is Rafael Lopez. The Day You Begin is about a girl who feels really different. She goes to school and she looks around. And she just feels like she's different than other people. Do you ever feel different than other people? Let's take a look inside to find out more about her. The Day You Begin. Let's take a peek at that first picture. What do you see her doing? Do you like reading books? I'm sure you know I love reading books. There will be times when you walk into a room and no one else is quite like you. Maybe it will be your skin. Look how her skin looks different than hers. And her skin looks different than his. Or maybe it will be the curl in your hair. Look how her hair looks different than their hair. There will be times when no one understands the way the words curl from your mouth, the beautiful language of the country that you left behind. My name is Rigoberto. Mi nombre es Rigoberto. We just moved here from Venezuela. Acabo de mudar de Venezuela. Looks like he's telling his story. But because they don't understand, the classroom will just fill with laughter until the teacher quiets everyone. Oh man. How do you think he feels? He started to share, and the class started to laugh at him. Rigoberto, de Venezuela, your teacher says so soft and beautifully that your name and your homeland sound like flowers blooming the first bright notes of a song. Rigoberto, de Venezuela, Rigoberto de Venezuela. There will be times when the words don't come and your own voice, once huge, is now smaller. When the teacher asks, "What did you do last summer?" Tell the class your story. We went to France, Shayla says. These shells came from a beach in Maine. The boy named Jonathan holds up a jar filled with tiny shells so fragile that they look like they'll turn to dust. My whole family went to India and Spain and South Carolina. Each souvenir was a small triumph of a journey. A souvenir is something that you can bring back when you travel somewhere. So it looks like she brought back maybe like a scarf or a rebozo, something special that she brought. But look back over at her. She hasn't shared anything yet. I wonder why. And as you stand in front of your classroom, you can only remember. So she's thinking about her summer, like what did she do this summer? You can only remember how the heat waved and it lifted off the curb, and your days spent at home caring for your little sister who made you laugh out loud and hugged you hard at nap time. You can only remember the books that you kept on reading long after she had fallen asleep. And in that room, where no one else is quite like you, you'll look down at your empty hands and wonder, What good is this when other students were flying and sailing and going somewhere else? Now I know why she didn't want to share. Remember how she was sitting and she was like, I don't want to share. I think that she didn't want to share because they all got to go to these really special places. And she didn't really feel very special because she stayed home with her sister. Do you ever feel that way? Maybe you notice that some people get to go to special places, maybe places that cost a lot of money. How does that make you feel? I wonder if you feel like she does. There will be times when your lunch that your mother packed for you is too strange or too unfamiliar for others to love it as you do. Wow, look at all those faces looking at her. Why do you think they're looking at her that way? Yeah, maybe they think it's a little different. But how do you think she feels when they're all looking at her like that? Maybe it makes her feel sad. Maybe she just wishes they understood her. When even your own friend, Nadja, will wrinkle her nose and say, "What's in there anyway?" Look at her looking at her food. And you'll wonder how she doesn't see that rice beneath the meat and the kimchi. You'll wonder why she doesn't remember that rice is the most popular food in the world. Maybe it's making her feel a little nervous that she's looking at her like that. There will be times when the climbing bars are too high, the run is too fast and far, the game isn't one you can ever really play. I don't want him on our team. You can just watch. Maybe you can have a turn later. I see another boy who feels very different than them. They weren't showing kindness to him. Did you notice that? They didn't even want to play with him. There will be times when the world feels like a place that you're standing all the way outside of. I felt that way before. Sometimes I go to places and I feel all alone, even though there's a lot of people. And it makes me feel a little nervous or a little sad that I don't know all of those people. I wonder if you ever feel that way too. And all that stands beside you is your own brave self, steady as still and ready, even though you don't yet know what you're ready for. There will be times when you walk into a room and no one there is quite like you until the day you begin to share your stories. Oh, so if I share my story, maybe then I'll make a connection to other people. My name is Angelina, and I spent my whole summer with my little sister, you tell the class. Oh, she's feeling brave and she's starting to share her story now. What was her name? Angelina. I spent my whole summer with my little sister, you tell the class, and your voice grows stronger. We were reading books and telling stories, and even though we were right on our block and in our house, it was like we got to go everywhere. That's what's so cool about reading books, is that you get to learn about other places and travel in the stories. Oh, I'm so glad that Angelina is feeling brave and ready to share her story. Look, Rigoberto has something to say. Your name is like my little sister's, Rigoberto said. Her name is Angelina too. Oh, they made a connection. I'm so glad she shared her story. Now Rigoberto made a connection to her. And all at once in the room where no one else is quite like you, the world opens itself up a little wider to make some space for you. How special. Maybe she'll make a new friend. This is the day that you begin, when you start to make connections with other people. It's the day that you begin to find the places inside your laughter and your lunches, your books, your travel, and your stories, where every new friend has something a little like you and something else so fabulously not like you at all. Angelina and Rigoberto have some connections, some things that make them feel special because they are alike in some ways, but they're also different in a lot of ways. That's what makes friends special. Oh, look at Angelina's face now. Look at Rigoberto's face now. I just learned from Angelina that if I feel a little nervous, it's okay. If I feel that I don't have any friends, it's okay. Sometimes I just have to be brave and share my story so I can make new friends and make some connections with them. I hope that you learn to be brave like Angelina and Rigoberto were in the story, and share who you are, because you are special and different, just like Angelina. I hope you enjoyed this story. I can't wait to see you again next time, friends. See you soon.